Half of what I say is meaningless, but I say it just to reach you, Julia, Julia, Julia. Ocean child calls me, so I sing the song of love, Julia, Julia. Seashell eyes, windy smile calls me, so I sing the song of love, Julia. Her hair of floating sky is shimmering, glimmering in the sun. Julia, Julia, morning moon, touch me, so I sing the song of love, Julia. When I cannot sing my heart, I can only speak my mind, Julia, Julia. Sleeping sand, silent cloud, touch me, so I sing the song of love, Julia. Calls me, so I sing the song of love for Julia, Julia, Julia. I tried singing one song this morning, Julia by the Beatles, White Album. Jim Croce's another easy one to sing his songs. Stamps just got very boring for me. I won't quit Stamps. I'm not saying they're boring, but they did get a little repetitive. Mechanical is the word. If anything's mechanical, it's no good. Might as well be a bug, walking back and forth. I always wonder about those things. The hell are those? A lot of them, they got eyes and legs just like us. So I don't know what's going on with flies. As one can probably notice, I am not scripted. One of my new end of year, looking forward to next year goals is to stop being negative. That's actually been a goal of mine, to not be negative. I don't think it can be completely prevented, but my main goal is to stop following those channels that branch off of Jimmy Dore. I've said this before, that I want to stop caring, stop following. I want to stop looking at them. I don't know what I want to end up doing. I picked a Nietzsche book off of the shelf. I might read it. I'm not sure I ever did, or I only read it once, decades ago. The Beyond Good and Evil. Thought I might find it interesting to go back into reading. It would definitely get me off of the computer. I don't want to give up on singing, but I'm not exactly sure that there's much more I can do with singing in regards to how I'm doing it, how I've been approaching it. I have given up on the medium. I'm nowhere involved in it. I am arrogant enough to say I can go through headlines and know as much as anyone else. The key is that we're being yanked around. The key is the people in power think that they mirror society rather than creating it. One goes into solitude to escape all that. I've also pointed out before, I like to read something while eating food. So I'm a never say never dude. When we say never, that's a lot of pressure. So maybe the key is that talk is cheap. It's better to do than to vow. Actions speak louder than words. I'm not trying to sound like a Robert Mitchum. I'm not trying to sound as if I'm full of me. This is who I am. We all have to confront the me aspect of this breathing, this consciousness. We can't do that by being yanked around, by chains, by the military. Yes, I'm blaming the military mostly for what's going on. They're not voted in. They're there all the time forever. We already have documents proving what they've done. proving what they're doing. It's a trap to participate in social media. I was the key actor, the key person in the story which emerged in regards to Brett Kimberlin. I was never interviewed. I was never contacted by anyone other than Ron Breinart. I was contacted by people with no credibility, basically. Suspicious people. I was never contacted by Daily Beast or I forget the papers at the time. I think Salon was the one who did an article on the Kimberlin thing. It was a huge story. It morphed from myself basically being the only person talking about Kimberlin and Brad Blog and all that garbage, which is actually the same sort of garbage that goes on with the Still the Vote thing. The only true story that I saw was that the media was exposed through WikiLeaks to have rigged a coronation for Hillary Clinton over Bernie Sanders. I don't know why that got changed. I know why it got changed into Pizzagate. So I should have just said it got changed into Pizzagate. They're looking for our opinions. So we could have opinions, and they're probably correct. We're all good people here. Most of us. We're reflective. We reflect. I'm not saying we're reflective was correct grammar. But most people seem to be in good faith. It doesn't matter if we're on the right side of history. That's what I'm trying to say. It's a trap. There's not one legitimate outlet to camp, to stake your claim, to join in. I could do that with fault lines. I could just move into their territory and become a regular. They're obviously not banning anyone, at least not in the fault lines chat, but I'm not falling for that. I don't care. It's just negative. The only thing I'll share is I have video. This is from fault lines. If you look under the keyboard for Shane, I hate that when the coffee machine goes off like that. Now I don't know whether to delete that or leave it in. I had to walk over and turn it back on, or else whatever coffee's left is going to go cold. I mix in a lot of decaf, so I'm able to drink a lot of coffee. I have no issues with my heart. I had a heart attack, but I had clogged arteries. It was mine. There we go again. And they make the coffee sound on my machine. It sounds like a truck backing up. So it's not the most pleasant sound. Now I have to try to figure out what I was talking about again. Oh yes, I just wanted to point out that Shane puts his white tablet teleprompter, he puts a bit of his keyboard on top of one end of it. These guys aren't hiding it. This is the only show in which I've seen these tablets, and it's based on their rotating table thing. They wear sunglasses in inappropriate situations. Indoors with lighting, you don't wear those heavy-duty sunglasses. There was one real person in the chat, I think, who pointed out that that's probably to hide the eyes, right? So it was just someone who was trying to interact with me and show some support. And one other person showed support in the chat saying that she saw what I was talking about. So there's the teleprompter. That's very easy to see that Jamal uses. And then there's also, you can see that Shane has one of those too. So all those shows are scripted. All the same names keep showing up. They go on each other's shows. They can't even hide that they're fake and rigged. Now, this wouldn't pose a problem if it was more like a TYT network. TYT doesn't have much credibility either, but you look at who came out of TYT, Ben Dixon, David Pakman, none of them have credibility. TYT doesn't have credibility. Everyone knows that that's corporate. Anyone can look into Cenk Uygur and see that he's been corporate the whole time, his whole life. But then you look at Jimmy Dore, branched off of TYT, and they expect people to forget about that. And then all these smaller backwater channels, say from Convo Couch down to the ones we don't even know about, I'm pretty sure not many know what a Manitalk is. The guy frickin' escaped to Odyssey.com because I thoroughly exposed them. They're the weak link. The Manitalk and Redneckonomics with Graham Elwood are the weakest links. As is Steve Poinkinen from Slow News Day. The video of him I put up the other day, I didn't really point it out, but he makes the screen go small. But all I had to do was crop it out, and you can see he's reading off the teleprompter. So all these people are exposed. They know they've been exposed. Their targets are not probably gonna find my channel. Maybe some of them do. But for the most part, I imagine they're just part of the system. They're the day-to-day media mythology. Tucker Carlson, Fox News, they don't care about left-wingers who are not going to watch Fox News. They're going after their targeted demographic. And that's the same with these COINTELPRO people. So they fake as Assange supporters because they're looking for people who have given up on fighting the system from within. I have given up on fighting the system from within because it's rigged. If you give an opinion, you're basically just speaking to the military. You're not speaking to any news reporters because, as my story with Kimberlin showed, is that there's no media. Because my story led into very big stories in regards to the SWATs and the thing with Anthony Weiner. There was even political congressional action. There were like 80 Republicans came out and condemned SWATs against conservative bloggers. And all it was about myself noticing fake news on the internet. No one interviewed me. No one cared about me. And I was completely effed with by COINTELPRO, by something called Project Vigilant. It's all proven fact. It's that guy Neil Rauhauser who was associated with Adrian Lamo and a Chet Uber from Project Vigilant. Neil Rauhauser was the guy entrapping Barrett Brown. Barrett Brown obviously got turned into a COINTELPRO informant. He's got arrested, I think, in London for advocating the assassination of police. Rob Weber is obviously COINTELPRO. I only know about him because he was in opposition to Jimmy Dore. It's fairly endless where these characters are coming from. It's whack-a-mole. It's pointless. Why is it my responsibility to defeat Internet COINTELPRO? I said what I said. There doesn't seem to be anything else I can do. But I'm going to stop just by the chance that I'm able to edit this down to a respectable 15 minutes, which will fit into what YouTube currently allows me to post without separating stuff into parts. I might get one of those free government phones, and then I'll be able to give them a number, and then I'll be able to have unlimited minutes for posting videos. But I'm not into phones. But I guess if it's free, I do have one of those phones, but I let it run out. I got one of those about a long time ago. I got one of those free government phones. But I stopped using it. I used it for a few travel trips. You can get internet with those. You can text people. So they are quite effective. They're not as good as obviously as good as the smartphones, but I recall it has some smart features. So that's my plan for YouTube in the future, is to get a phone number, and to then be allowed to make longer videos. And then there'll be no limitation on the medium for myself to create, to share. I have a master's degree. I studied social theory in Ireland. I know all about the people like Eric Fromm. I know all about Eric Fromm. That's the guy who I feel most influenced by, then perhaps Krishnamurti. Mostly I was influenced by the world around me, and for that, one must look at the internet. It's been at least 20 years since the internet kicked in. I didn't get addicted till 2006-07, but I did start to notice the internet had kicked in around the year 2000. I know it had been around earlier, like 1990-ish. Mid-90s, I think I noticed internet. Okay, thanks for listening to the channel here. Take care, everybody. My heart goes out to anyone out there with Asperger's. I'm there with you. I get the same condition. I can't escape the sounds either. So what I do is I sort of safe-proof my life as much as possible. If I'm going to have a meltdown, I just shut myself off. I take the pain. I wait it out. I don't react to the pain. I'll put on heavy-duty headphones or something. I'll try to find a way to just remove myself from, or to minimize the pain of the sounds. So hang in there. I totally respect what all of you have been up against, despite not realizing I had the same thing. I didn't figure this out until after the age of 50. But better late than never makes a lot of sense. And Aspies know that age doesn't matter. Aspies know. We're the meaning of life people. We're the ones, that's all we think about. That's all we care about. It's not virtue signaling either. What, the two choices in life are to go into a shell and feel insecure, or to actually feel 100% conscious, to feel alive, to feel free. So, in conclusion, I'd like to thank yet again Eric Fromm and Krishnamurti for being my teachers. There are a few others, but no one has ever heard of them. Alright, everybody, hang in there. Seriously, truly. This is the Tokyo Shemp News Network.